Live from Casa del Rio in Nashville, Tennessee, just down the river from the Grand Ole Opry, it's the Dreamers Road with Stephanie Urbina Jones and the Honky Tonk Mariachi. Grab a seat, grab a drink, saddle up, and let's take a ride down this Dreamers Road. Vámonos, y'all.
Vámonos, y'all. Hello, everybody. This is Stephanie Urbina Jones coming to you live from Casa del Rio, right here outside of Nashville, Tennessee, literally down the river from the Grand Ole Opry. You know, I used to go to the top, the third floor of this house, and I could see the Grand Ole Opry, and I would dream someday I would get to make that dream come true. I want to tell you a little story. We have got an amazing night tonight. I'm really excited. I have loved bringing you these amazing dreamers, these people, these crazy dreamers that have followed their heart, doing whatever they love, and have found joy, success, and the secrets of life. Tonight, I'm bringing you Manuel Cuevas, otherwise known as the Tailor to the Stars, you guys. His story is amazing, and I cannot wait to tell you a lot about him tonight. But before we get there, I'm going to tell you about how my Dreamers Road crossed Manuel's. You know, when I got to Nashville, I did what so many dreamers do. I headed straight down to Tootsie's, and I carved my name in the bathroom wall at Tootsie's. You know, I was here. I was going to do something, you know. And, you know, a few years went by. I got a writing deal with Jim McBride and Sony ATV Tree. I was starting to get cuts. And after my abuelita passed away, I decided I really needed to make a record. And so I mortgaged this house that I'm sitting in for the first of 4 times now, you guys, to chase this crazy dream. And when I made that album, I got to make one video. And of course, being the dreamer that I was, I thought, you know, if I never get to make another record, if I never get to make another video, I really want to be dressed by Manuel. And so I headed down to his store, and he made an appointment with me and treated me so special. And he fitted me in this bustier, black with red roses for my video. I bought my first Manuel that he stitched my name into. And I went down to Texas and I recorded my very first video. Here's the beginning of my Dreamers Road when I met Manuel Cuevas, and my very first single video, I Am Home.
When I was just 18 years old, left my roots in San Antonio, and I headed out down the road on my own. Waited tables in New Orleans, thumbed a ride to the Keys, spent a year in Arizona, on my way to California. Oh, I've traveled miles and miles to find that nowhere held my peace of mind. It's here inside this heart of mine that you hold. And as I stumble through this crazy maze, my refuge is this sacred place. In your arms I'm finally safe and sound. I am home. I know nothing in this world's forever. Life can change like the weather, but for now at least I know I've got a place to rest my soul. Oh, I've traveled miles and miles to find it. Nowhere held my peace of mind. It's here inside this heart of mine that you hold. And as I stumble through this crazy sacred place. In your arms I'm finally safe and sound. I am home, sheltered from life's storms. Home, it's the love I've never known. No, I travel miles and miles to find it. Nowhere held my peace of mind. It's here inside this heart of mine that you hold. And as I stumble through this crazy maze, my refuge is this sacred place. In your arms I'm finally safe and sound. I am home. Baby, it's good to be home. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What an amazing time we had making that video. Again, I never knew would I have another opportunity to make another album, another video. There was more magic coming down the road, and Manuel was there with me at every turn. Only a few years later, when I was out on the road, I got a phone call, and turns out that Blake Shelton gave Craig Wayne Boyd, who was on The Voice, a song that Mark Marchetti and I had written called My Baby's Got a Smile on Her Face. And the night I turned into The Voice, I watched Craig Wayne Boyd win The Voice with a song I wrote. And my dream of being a #1 Billboard country songwriter came true just a few weeks later. Here we are. I bought my first Manuel vintage jacket with Mark Marchetti. We're with Craig Wayne Boyd in the back of the Ryman Auditorium. So that dream came true. And it wasn't but a few years later that I made my next album, Fiery Angel. And there I was again in a Manuel. Manuel was actually sitting in the audience the night that I performed for the first time this dream of the Honky Tonk Mariachis. There we are. Manuel's like 5 feet away from me. And of course, there I am in his jacket. Of course, just next year as the album came out, Toledosa, there I was in a Manuel red jacket that I actually bought you guys. He was there in that jacket when we stormed Lower Broadway and brought these Honky Tonk Mariachis for our photo shoot for that album. And then, of course, I was dressed by Manuel the night that Vince Gill invited me and the Honky Tonk Mariachis to come and to play with him and the Time Jumpers. Just a week later after that, I got my first opportunity to play with a symphony in Austin, an orchestra, and Manuel was right there to dress me. And it was just another week after that that I got to take the Honky Tonk Mariachis to a festival out in New Mexico. Here we are. Thank you, Manuel, dressed in red, white, and blue. And all of that leading to that moment, that history-making moment, as we were the very first artist in the history, 93 years of the Grand Ole Opry, to ever bring mariachi to the Grand Ole Opry stage. And of course, I went to see Manuel that afternoon, and he dressed me. And that is a jacket that he let me borrow for that night. And there we are at that amazing evening. I just really wanted to share this very personal information with you. And then, of course, soon after, the Country Music Hall of Fame invited us to play. And again, Manuel dressed me for that amazing night. Obviously, I have so much love and respect for Manuel. I've had the opportunity, was given a chance to play for his 80th birthday with the Mavericks, was chosen for that, and some very special occasions as well. I'm so excited tonight to be introducing you to this icon of American culture. The Dreamers Road is honored to welcome Manuel Cuevas. From some of music's biggest names of Hollywood legends, Manuel Cuevas says it was luck, love, and a calling that led him to design clothes for some of the most famous people in the world. He is now 87 years old and still stitching away at his boutique shop in Nashville. I went and sat at that sewing machine and I'm still sitting there, said Manuel. He was born in Mexico. He started making his own clothes, and by the time he was 7, and prom dresses by the age of 12. I think the second year I was 125, and from there on, 300 to 500 dresses a year, said Manuel. His success paid well, and by 19, he graduated from the University of Mexico. His journey soon led him to California, where he started working with Cy DeVore, tailored to the Rat Pack, perfecting fits for names like Frank Sinatra. Manuel flourished in America, finding himself working alongside Nudie, known for his rhinestone-covered suits. Here, Manuel shined, gaining respect for his unique designs. Manuel said, I did all the cowboys. From The Mask of the Lone Ranger to James Dean, Manuel worked on more than 90 movies in Hollywood. He opened Manuel Couture, where he dressed artists like Elvis, Johnny Cash, Marty Stewart, George Jones, Linda Ronstadt, Emmylou Harris, and on and on. His clientele only taking off from there. He worked with the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Michael Jackson, Prince, Bob Dylan, Merle Haggard, and most recently, one of my favorite artists, Brandi Carlile, who I saw at the Ryman, and Lady Gaga. Here he is with Lady Gaga, Keisha, there he is, and Post Malone. Wow. It's only fitting that today the national treasure makes his home in the Music City. From bolero jackets to very special items for everyone in the family, to blazers and dusters, each of Manuel's pieces is custom made, one of a kind. Ladies and gentlemen, my friends, my family out there on the road, it is such a deep honor to introduce to you this icon, Manuel Cuevas. And I want to let you all know we are in the wild west of technology. So hang with us. There's some wild rides in here with some sound issues, but I hope you can feel into the heart and feel into the dream and the magic of the tailor to the stars, Manuel Cuevas.
Right.
Hola, Manuel.
How are you, sweetheart? So nice to see you. Oh my God, it's been some time now.
It is
All these crazy times that we're living, you know.
It is crazy times that we are living, and it makes these special moments that we can connect and see each other and feel each other even more important, more valuable. How are you doing, Manuel?
I am doing fantastic. I feel like $1 million, you know. I know $1 million nowadays is not that much, but, I'm sticking to old times.
Well, I am so grateful that you're taking the moment to talk to me. I've created this show, and really the premise of it is, the heart of it is to share the dreamers and the stories and the moments of magic, the twists and the turns and the crash and the burns, all the magic that made Manuel who he is, and brought you here to this place that you touched so many people's lives, and especially mine, of course. So I want to ask you some questions. Do you mind going down memory lane?
Not at all. I love them, especially if they're embarrassing. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I'm glad you gave me permission.
Go for it.
Well, you know what? I want to start back because, me being a Latina, being Mexican American, and just loving the heart of Mexico. I want to go back to where you were born. I want to go back to the home that made you, your mama. Who inspired you? Who loved you? Who gave you your first scissors? Tell us about that.
Well, it was really not like a dream or anything because you guys are dreamers. You guys throw those guitars over your back and start walking and go look for your dream. I wasn't that way. Mine was a little different, but I remember so well, and I visited that little town where I was born, so beautiful. And I'll tell you, not only women, but roses and flowers compete with each other over there. So it's kind of a real romantic life that I can't remember now. I was a kid and I was, like just common like any other kid. But I did learn when I was 7 how to sew pants because a brother of mine dared to say, "Why don't you help me?" And I said, "Why don't I?" And I went and sat by him and grabbed the sewing machine, and I haven't left that damn place in all these 60, 70 years or more that I've been at it.
Wow.
You
So
know,
it was just so this in the house, the sewing machine was like, let's get busy. Brother said, here you go. And then what happened? It just kind of one
it
thing
just
led to
it
another.
flourished. It flourished in me. I was about 12 when I started making dresses for young girls that I always loved before, and I needed to re-love them again. So I started making dresses for them, quinceañeras, and you know, kind of old Mexican costumes about, like a Sweet 16.
Yes.
And I could see these girls dreaming, looking at those dresses hanging in mercantile stores. I said, no, this can't be like that. I'm going to change this. And I started making custom-made dresses for girls. And I'll tell you, the first year I made personally 77 dresses. Sounds biblical, I know, but I did. But I got so tired of that, I said, no, I'm going to make an industry out of this. So I started making one of a kind, just to, I don't know. It was something that I had. Maybe I just don't like 2, 3 things to be alike. So I had to take care of it. And I was successful from day one to today, 70, whatever, 73, 70 some years later, I'm still kicking.
Well, tell us, how did that lead to the United States? How did you get?
Well, I better tell you that the opportunity to come here was to pick up my green card, and then I stayed, and I haven't gone back. I mean, I go back because I love to travel, but I just stayed here because I hit gold every time I tried anything new. It looked like everything was a blessing, really. It was kind of I fell in love with what I was doing. And I've been at it for a lot of years, and I figured that I really have never worked on it, except that first year, the 77 dresses. But after that, I design and I cut, and I have people helping me. So apart from this, girls and boys being my support, for my business, and then there's the other part, which is the grandest of them all, you, the artists. The dancers, the jumpers, the singers, the players, the songwriters, you name it. I've been with them and they have been with me, and I dressed presidents, kings, queens. It's just being lucky, being with the right people at the right time, at the right place. I
And
call it sweet serendipity. I am very grateful for that. Well, you guys make me. I don't, I just did the clothes. I still keep doing it because it's fun and because I have never worked an hour in my life after those 77 dresses.
well,
Anything else you
how
want to ask me, just go for it.
Of course, I want to ask you, you guys, I've had the honor and the pleasure of being with Manuel for lunch and hearing amazing stories. Tell us about your story about Picasso.
Oh, well, that was, I actually was walking into Cihuatanejo's beach, and I was all dressed up in cotton and boots, because that's the way I go to the beach,
How
okay?
old were you? Were you like, yeah, were you like,
I was like, I would say I was 17, 18 years old, but I could still impress the bartender. He'll serve me with no figure. So I was kind of like a very young adult since very young life. I mean, like I tell people, this tequila habit that I have has been going since the legal age of 13. So can you imagine? I'm into 73 years of drinking tequila at least once a week. Anyway, I was walking down the beach and I see like cars parking very close to the beach. And then this guy told me in English, he says, "This way, gentlemen." So I went that way. And that's how I met the Kennedys. They had a party, so I kind of crashed in. And the story is that many years later, now we're talking when I was in California, and then Bobby called me and he says, you're the man that should make a Western suit for Pablo Picasso. Do you know that we have never allowed him in the United States? And which made me remember you, and I read about you, and we're so proud of you. Will you do us a favor going to Mexico City and measure him and make him a Western suit? He wants a real Western suit. He said we couldn't think of anybody else but you. So that's how I met Pablo, and I met his daughter Paloma. And 25 years later, Paloma Picasso handed me whatever, one of those things that they give you as the best designer in the world. She then asked me, she says, how does it feel at the White House? And she asked me, she says, how does it feel to be the best designer in the world? I said, honey, I'm just a humble little boot maker from Tijuana. I said, I just make things and people come to me. And so later on, I made dresses like for Ronald Reagan, for LBJ, for a son of, oh my God, 4 presidents anyway, Ronald Reagan being my buddy for so many years. So it was kind of nice to meet all these people and have the opportunity to make clothes for them. And believe it or not, I have never thought too much about it, but you guys make a fuss out of everything. And then here I go. I mean, you become successful. I'm right on your shoulder, climbing up with you.
well, Manuel, I'll never forget, I mentioned this. You didn't hear this as part of my pre-interview with you. I shared that when I first got to Nashville, I went to Tootsie's and I carved my name on the bathroom wall. And then my very first album, I said, I have to have a Manuel. It was like a mark of like, maybe, just maybe I can be an artist. And I had my first, 2 shirts designed by you with the roses that I loved. And then I will never forget you fitting me in this black bustier with roses for my very first video. And of course, at the time, I had no idea if I would ever get to have another record or another video. But for me, it was a success to be able to work with you, and you treated me, it's going to make me cry, with such love and kindness and respect. I knew that I had touched royalty, and you were so down to earth.
Oh my God.
And I've had so many beautiful moments with you, being able to sing for your wedding and sing for your birthday with the Mavericks. And it's just such an honor to hear these stories. It's hard for me to believe all the beautiful lives that you've touched, Manuel.
Well, think of lucky me, just being with you and hanging around all beautiful girls all the time and making clothes for the prettiest women on earth, all that helps. I mean, but you guys make me. I just never bragged about it that much because you guys brag about yourselves and you love that entertainment world. I go hide.
Well, tell me what happened. What happened? I'm so curious. I mean, because you have all these like iconic outfits, creations for these moments in our history, like the bathing suit that Raquel Welch wore, Elvis in gold, in his gold
In
suit,
black and in
Johnny Depp in
leather.
black. Tell me how that happened and what happens. Is it like, does the idea brought in like, oh my God, I'm going to put Elvis in gold, or how does this all work for you?
Well, Colonel Parker wanted to show the world that Elvis was going to wear the most expensive outfit. You know, I never made so much money in my life. He just wanted high price things, and we made it look that way. You know, I mean, I know that there was a lot of fame with that outfit. The same with Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5. I dressed him until now. Some of the other brothers, you know, I've been just lucky to be around there, Prince and Jimbo. I mean, so many other people. I mean, come on.
But did they come to you?
How about Johnny Cash? How about Dolly Parton?
Say, did you decide to put that created in gold, that suit in gold?
Well, you have to think big, baby. You have to think big, just like you guys, you know?
Yeah.
You just, I had to clear his life, you know, somehow. It was my responsibility. Even when the International Hotel wanted to give him a gold belt, said, will you make a gold belt for now Elvis is going to open the International Hotel? I said, of course I will. And then I quoted a price. It says, what? $33,000? I said, don't you know how to count? You just know how to take money from people. I know how to take money from casinos. If you want to give Elvis Presley a gold belt, it better be golden, not just a gold belt, you know. If you want something sprayed on, go to any belt store or factory and just spray it gold, and that's who you are. That's what you give them. But I don't think the king is gonna wear that kind of stuff if you don't give him the right thing. And I told the story to Colonel Parker, and oh man, I sharpened up his teeth and his nails and everything. He went, and I ended up making a golden belt for Elvis Presley too.
Wow.
Something that he could deserve. I mean, come on. This kid was at the top of his game then, and I said, you got to give him the best there is. So, you know, on the other part where you say how all these people came to me, well, this is like a candy store, sweetheart. I mean, you put a candy store in the neighborhood and all the children are going to come out, you know, buy it. I mean, that's the way it is. Kids will be going into their parents' grocery store drawers and get the money to buy the candy. That's what it is. So everybody everybody's doing that. I think of some of them that they didn't have that much money or something like, how do we start? How do we get into this thing? I remember like it was yesterday that, let's put Dwight Yoakam. Dwight Yoakam wanted some clothes for his album, you know. And I said, well, let's go do it. He said, no, but you know, there's no money and they're charging a lot for this video. I said, money is no object at my store. So let's make the outfit. And believe it or not, that's how it was created in a certain way, his image. So he was a maker, he was a helper, and I was the maker and I was the helper too. You know what I mean?
Yes.
When there's ideas together, it's very easy. It's not difficult, but not everybody's as fortunate as, you know, like Marty Stewart, like George Jones, like Jimmy Davis. I mean, I had to put my 5 cents into it too, you know, so everybody would wear the stuff. And it hit like $1 million. What did I tell you? That's the way I feel every day. And I work every day, but I don't really work. I'm just sitting here talking to you, enjoying life.
Well, I love this. And for anybody that's watching the Dreamers Road here with Manuel, I can tell you any day of the week when you pull up into his store, his candy store, which is so
Mhm.
fun to go visit. He's working. There he is with his scissors and the people that come and work with him every single day. He is in it, designing and creating. It truly
Well,
is a labor of love, right? It
you
just
better believe it.
every
That's true.
every day.
But
And
you know,
I have to say, because again, it was a big deal for me to get my first shirt, and I really appreciate it when I bring people into your store, and whether they can afford a Manuel jacket or not, can afford a mask or a belt or a Manuel T-shirt, all of these pieces that everything is
but
fabulous. Everything has your mark of fantastico, you know?
Stephanie, thank you for all the whatever that you're saying. But you guys make me.
Okay, so I
I
have
take pride in making clothes for you. Look at the beautiful girl that you are. Come on.
well, thank you. I have my Manuel on today.
There
Um,
you go. I can see that.
so I want to ask the story. I'm sure you've told it a lot, but let's ask people. Tell us a story about Johnny Cash and Black. How did that happen? How did that come?
Well, being friends for many years, watching, like I said, the dreamers, you guys are definitely dreamers. I have very little with dreaming. I am kind of a doer. I am kind of a realist. So I don't invest a dollar if I don't see it returning me too, at least. That's the way I'm. On the other hand, you guys dream. You say, oh, the right song, the right guitar, the right place. And look who are doing over there. I mean, I do not understand it, but I love what you guys do. I mean, you turn the world into peace because where there is music, there is dancing, there's smiles, and there's no war. It's beautiful. So that's what attracts me. And about Johnny Cash, well, I did something funny with him. Says, how come all my suits are black? I said, well, they were selling these clothes, these black clothes, real cheap. And I said, oh my God, what an opportunity. My friend is really making it, and I'm going to make it nothing but these 9 suits that he just ordered, I'm going to make them black, all of them, because I know him for so many years. And then he gets on the phone, this is Johnny Cash. I said, no kidding. Like I don't know your voice or something. He says, I got the clothes. How come all my suits are black? So I told him the story. He just laughed. He said, I want you to make me at least 2 every week because we have like a 54-day trip. So I need clean clothes every week. I said, no sweat. And he says, by the way, he said, the color is no longer a problem. So I make black all the time for him. And we got a kick out of it. And somebody wrote a song, The Man in Black and all that. And of course, they see this poor little guy over there from Mexico and they blame me for everything. But we did it that way. It's fun. And but the same I can say for other guys like Waylon, like George Gonzalez. I just put them in whatever I thought it would be good, for them. I mean, you're not going to ask a country boy what color the next suit's going to be. I said the next suit's going to be different than the first one. That's the way it is. I said, I don't remember what I did for you. He says, remember my tuxedo? If you have a picture, take it to some other tailor to make you a copy. I don't make copies. Sorry. If I cannot repair what you have, which I doubt I cannot repair, I can change it into another style, another thing, but I'm not going to make it the same. I'll be lying to you if I told you I was making you a copy. And I don't make copies.
I love that.
Huh?
I love that you also, it's not a big deal for you. You're just doing what you love, but here you are. You designed for Picasso.
Oh my God.
What about the Raquel Welch, like bathing suit?
Well, how about Salvador Dali? I trust Salvador Dali.
Dali, what?
I
Tell me, tell us.
Well, I mean, I'm just telling you just to add the names that you're mentioning. I don't want to make a big thing out of Salvador Dali is like my neighbor next door, you know. We're all human beings, simple, no big deal. But I mean, the charts in the world talk different than I talk. But to me, make a dress for, okay, a great jacket for, oh my God, President Bush, for example. To me, yeah, there's a lot of pride. It's cool. But don't forget, Mr. Bush was a regular guy.
Of course. Of course.
I mean, come on, a Texan like you. Are you from Texas?
I'm from Texas.
Well, so is he.
That's right.
You see, I mean, come on. That's the way it is. I mean, I met so many Texans in my life, by the way.
Well,
A lot of them.
It is just so amazing for us, for anyone, just to know that you know,
But I recognize your fame.
what did you say?
Everybody's famous for, for something. And I love that. And that's what people, the common radio station will call me. And how do you think of that? I said, come on.
Well,
I just do the things for them. I love it. And she says, well, don't they tell you what they want? Of course they do. They want new clothes. No, but the style. I said, I am the stylist.
I love that.
They do their music, they do their dancing, they do whatever. And that's how I got around to dress, circus people, dancers, jumpers, leprechauns, prostitutes, presidents, everything. Yeah? I love so much. And then I dress beautiful people like you and many others, Linda, Dolly, Emmylou Harris. I mean, I could go forever.
On and on. Well, I love that you've touched so many icons and designed for so many icons of the past in all walks of life. Artists, singers, dancers, as you said, prostitutes, all of them. And I also love that the generation of musicians, one of my favorite artists, Brandy Carlisle.
Oh, she's so beautiful. She's so gorgeous, that kid.
And Keisha and Lady Gaga and Post Malone. Wow. Amazing.
Well, here I am working, right?
There you are working.
I have never retired to start or anything like that. I'm still working.
And I'm going to have a new project for you because I have some exciting music coming up that you're going to love. Some more Honky Tonk Mariachi with the Mariachi.
Woo-hoo. Good.
Manuel, it has to have a very special outfit from you for sure.
You can have it, baby, anytime you want to.
Okay.
I am here.
Well, listen.
Don't forget I'm still kicking, okay?
What did you say?
I said, don't forget I'm still kicking, but do it while I'm kicking,
before I will be
before I check in the back door, Come over. Come and visit us anytime. Feel free to be like you always do. Come, you're welcome.
Thank you, Manuel. Well, I have one more question. Is there anything, two questions. One question is there any dream, anything left that you go, oh, I really want that dream to come true? Or are you fulfilled with the life, everything that's happening?
Well, it really happens every day because that's all I do. I dream all the trickery that is going to go into the new outfit, okay? Mm-hmm. In order to be like sharp and ready, I had to dream it first. And I get it, and there's so many girls and boys that are starting right now, starting to work. And it's my obligation to make them pretty, but also to make them different. Mm-hmm. Because, everybody's after their own career, and they want to become stars, you know, and I love that about becoming stars. And I feel like, wait until you become a star. It comes the most difficult part later. You had to quit opening for your stars. Now you're gonna have somebody else open for you, and that's when things start to enter that galaxy. It's tough, but it's also good, and I love it when I see somebody's name on the radio and newspapers, magazines, television. I said, "Woo, there she goes, or there he goes," you know. And I'm happy for those people, for all of you guys. I'm proud. But I don't forget what I keep saying, because I do that. You mentioned iconic people, Paul. Not far from there, kiddo. And then so you made the outfit for, Stephanie. Yeah, I did. Yeah, what? This, I would like to have one like it. Then it's my styling comes next after that, right? How could I make an outfit like Stephanie's for anybody? No way. Stephanie's outfit is her outfit. I'm sorry, that's the way it is. So I don't make two things alike. And if I tell you I'm making one like the first one that I did, or the second, whatever you bring me back in memory, I lie to you. I'm not going to do it. But I tell you, yes, I will.
Well, Manuel, is there any advice that you have for anyone that is, has something they want to do in their heart? I feel like, is there anything you would say to them?
Well, I never saw people that try so hard like the dreamers in this world. I don't know how in the world they can go to sleep at night, for God's sake. And that would kill me. So I am out of that world. But then I don't need to be selfish, you know. I do what I want because I'm just lucky. Who made me lucky? The people that you're talking about. It's a ring, you know. I mean it. It's just nothing but that.
Love.
And we should be linked with each other, you know. We should all be linked to each other and go for it. I mean, you're talking about advice. I never saw anybody that tried hard that didn't get there. All of them, they've been stars, but they tried hard. You know, when they don't find it here, you dig deeper.
Well, muchísimas gracias, Manuel.
I love you, girl. I love you, girl.
Bye for lunch in the next 2 weeks.
I will stop eating in a few days, just waiting for that invite.
I love you, my friend. Thank you so much for the honor of talking to you, and I look forward to seeing you very soon and planning a fabulous outfit.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you, Manuel.
I've been watching along with you all. I hope you've enjoyed this interview with Manuel Cuevas. Just so inspiring. It's just amazing. Can you believe it? How one thing led to another. Picasso, John F. Kennedy, the Lone Ranger, Elvis, Johnny Cash. It's on and on and on. You know, it's just kind of amazing. I really appreciate him coming on and sharing this with us. Well, we're going to move on and honor Manuel with our Honky Tonk trivia, you guys. We've got one big question. I want to hear from y'all out there. Let me know. Here is the Honky Tonk trivia tonight. Which person, star, did Manuel, the Tailor to the Stars, not dress? I'm going to say that again. Was it A, Elvis? Was it B, Brandy Carlisle? Was it C, James Dean? Was it D, Johnny Cash? Was it E, Loretta Lynn? Was it F, Melania Trump? Was it G, Dwight Yoakam? All right, you guys, I want everybody to let me know. Can you only imagine? I mean, he's touched everyone, so many people's lives. The question on Honky Tonk Trivia honoring Manuel is, which person did Manuel, the Tailor to the Stars, not dress? Is it A, Elvis? Is it B, Brandy Carlisle? Is it C, James Dean? Is it D, Johnny Cash? Is it E, Loretta Lynn? Is it F, Melania Trump? Or is it G, Dwight Yoakam? You guys, do we have anybody out there that thinks they know the answer to this question? The person that wins, Annie Mark. Hey, Annie. Annie Mark, you got it right. The answer is F. Melania Trump is the only person on that list, can you believe it, that Manuel has not dressed. Congratulations, Annie. And this leads me, I'm so excited that you are the winner. And tonight we're introducing my very first, I'm passionate about my dreams. I'm passionate about my family. I'm passionate about my music and about meeting people and enjoying life. And I am passionate about chocolate. And so we have developed our very own Honky Tonk Mariachi. Can you see it? Honky Tonk chocolate con chili peppers. And Annie, you win the very first Honky Tonk chocolate con chili peppers. You guys, this is Mexican chocolate from Mexico. It was created artisanal. Every bar is handmade, hand wrapped, made from this decadent chocolate from the south of Mexico. Anyway, I'm going to show you a little bit of my merch video. We have t-shirts, we have hats, we have all kinds of wonderful things at honkytonkmariachi.com. Check this out, you guys.
We hope you're enjoying this broadcast of Dreamers Road with Stephanie Urbina Jones and the Honky Tonk Mariachi. You can support the Dreamers Road through music and merchandise. Visit www.honkytonkmariachi.com.
You got a little taste of all the things that we have in production. We're in the process of making a new Honky Tonk Mariachi album. You can keep up with everything at honkytonkmariachi.com. Again, I want to thank my special guest, Manuel Cuevas, for styling me and believing in me, letting me borrow things all along on my Dreamers Road, for inspiring so many of us dreamers. And I really hope any of y'all who are watching are enjoying this journey with me as I introduce you to these people that I've crossed roads with, my path with, that have made magic with their lives. And I hope truly that it is beginning to inspire you to believe in yourself, in your dreams, and to truly go for it. Nurture, water those seeds in your heart. I believe that those seeds are planted by God and they are meant for you to bloom in your life, whatever they are. Thank you for joining us on the Dreamers Road. My name is Stephanie Urbina Jones. We will see you in 2 weeks for more inspiration. Muchísimas gracias, y'all. Muchísimas gracias, y'all. Thank you for watching The Dreamers Road with Stephanie Urbina Jones and the Honky Tonk Mariachi. You can keep up with us on Facebook, Instagram, and by everything at honkytonkmariachi.com. Remember, above all, some dreams are worth dreaming a lifetime to live. Muchísimas gracias. Adios, mis amigos.